Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another live stream here on my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me tonight. Today is day 2 of Color Month 2024, and I'm going to pick out a color combo to use for today's card. Before we get to that, I have a little bit of housekeeping. Coming up on Wednesday will be another live mail call video. I hope you can join me. It's going to be at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, so 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday. I hope you can join me, tune in and see a bunch of cards from fellow card makers. And the theme for February was rainbow or multicolor. So this is going to be a very colorful mail call video this time around. Okay, so hello to everyone over there in the chat. I saw you all that you're eagerly anticipating the color combo for tonight. Well, I'm so glad you're watching live because you're going to have a say in what color combo I use. So I'm going to switch to my overhead camera. And okay, so I have broken out the color cube, the Sarah Renae color cube, and I have selected 3 different combos, just color combos that really spoke to me and kind of per the idea of what I want to do with tonight's card. So the first color combo is this one, and I can zoom in on this a little bit here so you can see it better. Really, really pretty, kind of like some purples, a blue, and some greens. So there's color combo option number 1, and wait until I put the poll up and then you can vote. I've got the poll ready to go. Here's color combo option number 2. And I think with the gift boxes, it makes me think of birthdays and just really colorful. I thought this would be a really fun color palette to work with. So there's number 2. And the third color palette is this one. Isn't that flower gorgeous? Like, these photographs that she's chosen for all of these color combos are just beautiful. So this is the third combo. We've got some pinks, some purples, and like a really, really dark blue. All right, so here are your 3 options. If you're watching live, I'm going to go ahead and put that poll up right now. And then you can vote for which color combo you think I should use tonight. So there's only about 200 of you here right now, a little less than 200. So it's up to all of you who are watching live which color combo you want. So go ahead and let your choices be known. I think any of these would work well with what I have planned for tonight. So we really can't go wrong. And any of these would be amazing. So these, while you're voting, I'm just going to fill you in if maybe you haven't seen my previous video. The theme for March is Color Month, and I'm going to be just focusing on color and color combos and color challenges and things like that. And one of the tools that I'm using this month is this Sarah Renae Clark color catalog and color cubes. And these cards are from the color cube. This happens to be from color cube number 1. And it's basically a bunch of cards with different color combos and color inspiration for you to use in your projects. So that's one. This is just one way you can use the color cube by, pulling out colors. On Friday, in Friday's video, I pulled out random colors as a challenge to myself. And today I looked through all of the different cards. Well, not all of them, quite a few, about 50 of them. And I picked out color combos that really spoke to me. So this is another way you can use it. You can go through and pick out ones you like instead of having it be random. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. Looks like the winner was number 1 with 47%, number 3 with 28, and number 2 with 24. So this was the ranking like this. Such fun color combos. Maybe I'm just really digging the purple vibes because all of these kind of have like a purpley pink shade to them. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so I'm going to set these 2 aside. I've actually already pulled colors for all of these. I should all be so proud. I did prepping for this. So here are the ink colors that I've chosen. And here they are in kind of the same order that are shown on the color palette here. So I've got Amethyst from Simon Says Stamp, Opulence from Pink Fresh, got Galaxy from Simon Says Stamp, Aegean from Simon, as well as Tide Pool. So I think all of these inks are going to look beautiful. In fact, these two are kind of close. I might actually swap out a different color. Hold on. Do I want that one? No, those are even closer. I think I'm going to go with this. This is what, you know, when I look at that up to that one, that's the closest. And then this was the closest color I had over there too. Although, is Hot Mama closer? Hot Mama might be closer. Yeah, I think Hot Mama is closer. We'll swap that out. So here are the inks I'm going to be using today. This is the Color Inspiration. All right, I'm gonna set this aside and we're gonna get going here on my card. So the stamp set that I'm going to be using today, I've actually got a couple. This one right here from Pretty Pink Posh. This is the Decorative Hearts stamp set. Obviously a Valentine's Day stamp set that came out a couple months ago. But I just really loved this kind of heart idea where you have a solid and then a pattern on top. And I thought that would work really well with some of these, like, you know, a lighter color with a darker color stamped on top or something like that. So I thought that would work well. And to mix it up just so it's not a Valentine's Day card, I thought I'd grab this Bold Messages 2 stamp set. This is from Simon's Rainbow Splash line of products. And I'm going to be using the Sending Hugs greeting. I thought that'd be really fun. Okay, so I'm gonna put these inks over here to the side and get going here. Pam's asking, do you ever use Concord and Ninth inks? I do. I love Concord and Ninth inks. I'm not using them tonight, but I could probably have picked out colors from their line that would match close to these as well. In fact, maybe their Concord color would be a good purple. All right, so this is the basic card design for tonight. I wanted to get sort of like a map or a plan for what I wanted to do with my card. So I thought first I'd start by stamping the sentiment. Actually, yeah, we're going to stamp the sentiment first because I want to do heat embossing with it. But I'm also going to do a little bit of prepping because I thought since I'm going to be stamping so many hearts, let's make it worthwhile and do 2 cards at the same time. I'm going to swap out the card base color for each. But since I've got these hearts that are going off the sides, I thought it might be best to use a sticky mat. So I'm going to grab a couple of sticky mats. I've got a stash of them over here on the side. And I want to make sure that at least one of my sticky mats is one of the clear ones from Misty, from My Sweet Petunia, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep the mats so they match up. All right, so here's the Simon Says Stamp and Stencil mat. And I'm just going to put that down into the corner of my Misty. And I'll put my card right down into that area. And then I'm going to take my clear mat, this one's from My Secret Santa, and I'm going to put that right over top and make sure it's down into that corner, this bottom corner. Then I'm going to take my other card and just place that right on top. So now, as I move these mats in and out of my Misty, they'll stay in the same position. I can just swap them interchangeably. Okay, hold on, I've got to close out a window on my computer so I can concentrate on what I'm doing here. Okay. You know what, oh, hello, I just got ink all over my card front. That's cute. Let's swap these. I'm gonna take that off. You know, I bet it's, yeah, it's totally from the mat. I'm gonna clean this off real quick. Oh yeah, look at that. That blue ink is coming right off. I'm not worried about the stickiness on the sides here, because generally for this mat I use only the center. All right, let's clean off my fingertips a little bit, and I'm going to grab a new folded card front. Okay. All right. And it was right on the lines, the printed area in the center. But just to be sure, let's check to make sure these line up. That'll be great. Now that I think about it, I should probably do the heat embossing without it being stuck to the mat first. Let's do that. I'm going to back up a little bit. Okay. I'm going to put my grid paper back in just because I like to have that right there. Put that down into that bottom corner. And then I'm going to place, oh, hello, that's like the wrong size. That's okay. It'll hang off the edge. Put that right there. And then I'll get my little stamp set. Janice asking if I'm going to Simon's Stamp Crate. I am this year. I'll be working one of the tables. All right, so I'm going to put that sending hugs right there, right in the center. Pick that up. All right, and then I will use my anti-static powder tool just to prep this. And then I'm going to stamp in Versamark ink. That's a very solid greeting, so I'm actually going to stamp it twice. And then I'm just going to bring in that other card base down into that corner, prep with an anti-static powder tool, and then stamp with Versamark. All right, stamp that again, just like I did on the other card base. All right, grabbing some gold embossing powder. This is gilded embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. I'll start with my craft note card. Set that aside, and I'm just going to let my heat tool heat up a little bit, so then when I bring it over, I'm not heating up that one area more than necessary. Letting it heat up. All right, I'm going to move it over to my project. And I'm not going to I'm not going to heat it for too long because I want to prevent warping as much as possible. All right, I'm going to set that aside for a moment, and I'll do the embossing powder on my white card base. I'll let that sit a little bit longer. Sometimes I'm in a hurry and I don't let the embossing powder really sit into the stamping. Okay, yeah, that looks better. This with my heat tool. Okay. All right, I'm going to remove my greeting. And now we can do the mat. Okay. I'm going to be stamping both of these at the same time. So I'm going to first place my white card right there. Then I'm going to put my clear mat down, and I'll do the craft colored one right on top. All right, and now I can swap these interchangeably as I work. I'm going to close my embossing powder before I move on. So many of you have the color cubes and you love them. I'm so excited. All right, so I thought it might be helpful to already have this so I can stamp a couple of the hearts at the same time. So I thought that would speed things up. So like I'll have different colors going. So let's see here. I'll do that one right there. So the big heart, the medium heart. Let's do right up here. And then the small heart. I want them kind of set apart from each other because they're all going to be stamped in the same color. All right, and I can just close the door of my MISTI to pick all that up. And I'm just going to double check the spacing on that. It's kind of close to my grading. Was it really that close? Maybe my grading moved. I can't tell. Yeah, I think I had it in the wrong spot. Okay, test that again. That's a little better. I don't know if that's any different, but we'll see. Okay, so as far as my colors go, for the purple, I'm going to do the two tones like this. So I'm going to start with Hot Mama. If I can get it open. There we go. And I might have to stamp this a couple of times because my Hot Mama ink pad is an older one. We'll see. Not too bad. I'm just going to get the big heart one more time. Okay. So this is going to be a ton of stamping tonight. You know, if I wasn't doing multiples of these, I might even have just put the hearts on an acrylic block and just kind of stamped around willy-nilly. That's how I did my, you know, this initial one, and it went really fast doing it that way. But I'm hoping that because I'm doing two cards that are exactly the same, that it won't be an issue. That it will be worth going to the trouble of using a MISTI. Plus, you know, now I have the opportunity to stamp things twice. It's going to be really interesting to see the color difference on the craft note card as well. Okay. So I'll bring this back in, lining it up there at the top. Take these off. And now I can't see which ones have color. That's awesome. Okay, I did that one, and I did that one, and I did that one. We'll just mark them off. All right, so I'm still using that Hot Mama color. So I think right there would look nice. Let's go for a medium one. No. We'll go right here. And then we need a small one. We'll go right here. Okay, I think that's going to be a good kind of mixture of where the hearts are. Stamp those down really well. Then I can just swap mats. Ink these up again. And here we go. I'm going to let that slide. I don't want to stamp it again. Okay, so now let's move on to maybe some of the teal hearts. I think those would look great. I also think it'd be nice to do kind of like a stamped off technique so that I would get a little bit of a lighter version of this. I think that could be really great too. All right, let's mark off the hearts that I've done. That one, and this one down here. Okay. Yeah, I think I do want to do a stamped off version of this just to get a little bit of a different tone. So we're going to do lighter versions of this now. Maybe we'll do, let's see. I'm trying to think I've got basically teal and then another purple option. But maybe I'll just switch that up with the other stamping. Okay. We'll do that one right there. And this one down here in this corner. Okay. Someone's saying, show my nails, please. I filmed it. I'm hoping to do a video of it, but here are my nails. I was inspired by a manicure I saw on Instagram, and my hands are so dry. They're so dry right now. But anyway, hopefully I can share that soon. All right, so I'm gonna grab just another piece of cardstock that I can, and I'm gonna do just a piece of 5x7. You could also do a, like a, what's the word? Piece of scratch paper. But I'm gonna ink these up really well. And I'm going to do stamped once, take that away, and then come in and stamp with whatever's left over. And then you get like really pale. Do you see how pale that is? It's just another way to get more life out of your ink pads. All right, swap to the other one. Do the same thing. Stamp that down to get rid of that first layer of ink. And then come in for the residual. Those are very, very pale. You know what? I kind of feel like I want to stamp it twice with the pale. Let's, especially on this dark background, it like hardly shows. Let's test it out. I think this is going to give us a better, well, a little bit better, right? Okay. So let's start doing the teal now. I'm saving those darker purple sections for like the detail on top. Second generation stamping, yes. Okay, let's do, there. We'll do a full strength right there too. And right here. Let's just make sure those are going to nestle in perfectly. Looks good. So the two teal shades, I've got Tide Pool and a GN. So I'm going to use Tide Pool. And in fact, I just used a purple ink, and sometimes the purple ink can really like stain the stamp. So I'm going to do a test stamp just to try to get some of that purple ink out. Yeah, you can kind of see it grade things out just a little bit. So I'm gonna, sometimes it's hard to switch ink colors. Okay, much better. I find that like the purples and pinks and reds are the inks that stain my stamps the most. I mean, I don't mind that they're stained, but I don't want them to like pull up that color the next time I use them, you know? All right. Swap this out. Clean those up. I'm going to X out the ones I've done. Okay. In fact, I can probably use this as a reference as I'm deciding where I want the additional teal ones to be. So let's see. I think I want this one. See here. I think this is actually the big one, but I'm going to swap it to the medium just because it'll be a little easier. Okay. And then small. Let's go right here. And these are once again going to be the full strength ones. Make sure my little template's on my card just right. And then go in with more stamping. All right. Swap it out for the other card. I love how different these look just by having a different card base. Okay. Going back to our little template. We've done that one now, and that one, and this one. All right, so, in fact, you know what? I probably could get them over here and then move them over. All right, I'm going to do the second generation stamping for these spots. Let's see. And then a large one. I think that one right there. That lined up just right. So this is going to be the second generation stamping with the teal. Put that over the top. using whatever's left. That's very, very pale. So I'm going to do that again. Oh, I think it moved. It totally moved. I have a little double stamp there. It's okay. We'll go with it. My mat was not in the corner the first time around. In that corner. Okay. I'm going to clean this up. And then I think for these other ones, I'm going to do the Opulence ink and do the second generation of it, so then I can put the Galaxy on top. I think that could look really, really cool. Okay. So the ones we just did were right there. And right there and right there. We're getting close, guys. In fact, you know what? I liked seeing it over here so I could picture what I was getting. Okay. Right there. We'll do a medium right there. And then a small one right here. Just a nice mix. Pick that up. I'm just going to double check to make sure, yeah, spacing looks great. All right, so this is a brand new ink pad. I have no idea how dark it's going to be when it's stamped. So that's why I thought maybe doing second generation stamping would be best. Oh yeah, that's pretty dark. Ooh, that's going to be pretty. Let's do 2 layers of that. Just because I want it to be a little more solid. There we go. And I think this is the Hero Arts ink that kind of smooths out as it's used, so, or as it dries, so that'll work well. Okay, doing some more second generation stamping. All right. And I'll do the same thing I did on the previous card. I'm just going to stamp the second generation twice. Lovely. Got this weird spot right there in the middle, but that's okay. You know what it is? You can see how it's puffed up right there. Makes me laugh. Okay, so I've got just a few more hearts to fill in. Looks like we need to do this little one right there. Did that one and that one. What was the third one? That one. Okay. So we'll do this one with that purple. And we've got our medium. I think I'll do the medium in a second generation teal. And then it's just this little corner, I guess. Those are the last three. Okay. So this one's going to be the dark purple. That one's going to be the light teal, and I think this one I'll have it be the light teal as well. So these two are teal, that one is the purple. So I'm just going to try to do these both at the same time. Make sure that's in that corner. Lovely. That one's a little close, but that's okay. We'll do that again. Lovely. All right, and then I'm going to do that on this one, and then we can start doing all the little detail work. Uh-oh, it's overlapping that heart right there. Things moved. How did things move so far? That's crazy. Whatever. I'm not going to redo the dark purple one. But I am going to redo or do a second layer of the teal. Just to darken that up. There we go. Alrighty. Now we can move on to all of those cute patterns. Oh, thank you, Brandy, for that super chat. That's so sweet of you. All right. Let's move on to all of the patterns. So let's start with the dark teal patterns. And I can do a bunch of them because I've got all the patterns for the different sizes. I've got 2 patterns for each size. And they don't have to be perfect. Let's see, another medium one. I don't have a medium one in the dark teal. All right. Well, I guess there's this one down here. We'll do this one. Okay, so now I'm going to move to the Aegean color. And these stamps are brand new. They've never been used, so I might have to stamp twice, making sure my base is in the corner. Oh, that's really cute. It's even cuter than I thought it was going to be. You know what? I don't feel like I need to stamp it a second time. So I'm just going to swap it out for my other one. Oh, that's really cute. I should have done the big one too at the same time. I wasn't thinking. just going to put those back while I figure out what I'm doing here. I'm going to do the big teal ones now. Kind of get that lined up the best that I can. Looks like there's just 2. Okay, make sure it's in that corner. Then I'll use the dark teal shade. Oh, these patterns on top are so cute. Swapping it out again. I'm just going to double check to make sure we're good. Yep, looks like it. Okay, I'm going to continue on with the teal shades. So now I'm going to do the slightly lighter teal shade to go on top of the second generation ones. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to Tide Pool. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's just go ahead and get the other ones while we're at it. I'm like, what am I thinking? I should do them all at the same time. All right, do I have a small one? I do, up here. And then we've got like two big ones again, so I'll have to, oh, those are already on there. We're good. So I'll go ahead and we'll just stamp that down, pick those up at the same time. Okay, and then I'll just stamp those twice, it's fine. I'm trying to do too many things all at once. Oh, that's so cute. Ink these up all again. Cute. I'm gonna have to get a new baby wipe. My baby wipe is completely saturated with ink. Yeah, Pam, the patterns on the top of the heart, so cute. I think you could even have some of them be in the gold embossing. I mean, I'm not gonna do it tonight because I'd have to wait for things to dry, but that would be really cute too. All right, let's go ahead and do the, let's do the lighter, the second generation hearts. It looks like for the lighter purple, there's only going to be 3. One for each size. All right, I'm going to go back to that Hot Mama shade. And there we go. Oh, those are so cute. I'm going to get this heart one up here again. just because I didn't get a really good solid stamp right there. All right, and now I'm going to move on to these other hearts. Let's do that one right there. And we'll do the polka dot. I'm trying to I wouldn't want the polka dot down next to this other one. I'm just trying to mix them up a little. And then stripe. This one. And then we've got the big one up here. And the sprinkles right here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to switch from Hot Mama and I'm going to go to the Opulence color. This is a lot of stamps. But we're going to get more of that tone on tone now with the dark purple on top of this shade. So dang cute. Yes, the outline around the hearts would be adorable, and they even have the outline stamps too. I don't think I want to spend the time to let everything dry tonight because I'm live, but yes, definitely a cute idea. All right, ink these up again. Probably didn't need to clean them off now that I think about it. Like every single time I see them, I'm like, what? They're way too cute. Okay. Let's see. We've got some of the, I forgot to do it on these. Forgot to do it on the second set, so I've got to go back and finish these. Oops. And then the hearts are up here. And then I think I did the stripe. You and me both, Andrea. Why am I cleaning between? All right, so I'm going to go back to Hot Mama and just do these three. Lovely. And they're not like perfectly stamped. They're a little offset, but I think that's okay. All right, let's get, we're going to do the darker hearts now. And we'll do more hearts. Then we've got, let's do that one. And then the sprinkles. Okay. So this one is going to be in Galaxy ink, which is kind of the only color we haven't used yet. And my Galaxy is seeming like it might be a little bit dry. We'll see. Oh no, it'll be fine. So cute. I'm thinking it might be worth it to do a little bit of ink blending around the edges of the card, just to bring in a little more of that color. So I think we'll do that. Got to get a new baby wipe, which is sad because I'm here at the end. Just so much ink all over this I've got to clean up. Yes, decorated cookies. They look like decorated cookies. My hand. Seriously, y'all. You guys know how much I love getting my hands dirty. All right, I'm going to remove the card from my sticky mat. And I'm going to immediately put the protective sheet back on top. And I'm going to do that with both. All right. And place that right on top. All right, so I'm just going to do a little bit of ink blending around the outside of each of the cards. And then I might dip it in the gold embossing powder. I think that would look really cool, just to have a little more gold. Let's see if I can clean off my hands more. Oh, yikes. I don't want to get more ink all over the white card where I don't want it, so I'm going to have to go wash my hands. See, that's one of the reasons why I don't like to get my hands dirty, is because I do a lot of cards with very clean white card bases, and I tend to get fingerprints all over them if I have ink on my hands. So I'm using a Craft Scrubby from Ranger to try to get as much ink off my hands as possible. With soap also. Oh my word, I really got ink everywhere. Okay. All right, I did the best I could. I couldn't get all the way up, kind of really close to my fingernails, because my nails are just a little too long right now, and I didn't want the Craft Scrubby to mess with my nails. So, like, I got most of it off. I mean, it looks better than it was. Okay. Put down a little bit of paper to catch the ink as I use it. And just gonna tape that to my glass mat so it doesn't move around on us. And then I'm going to grab some blending brushes, because we're just gonna bring in a little bit of color on the edges. Not a ton, but just enough to kind of give it a little more color. Okay. All right, starting with Hot Mama. And I'm just going to kind of bring it in where there's a little bit of that color of heart in that area. just because I don't want them to overlap too much onto hearts that aren't the right color. You know what I'm saying? So eventually I'll have color going all the way around the card, but I'm just going to skip over ones where the teal card or the teal heart is right up against it. Okay. So now I think I'm going to take, do I want to go straight to Aegean or should I do tide pool? I'm going to go straight to Aegean. And this is mostly going to fill in those gaps in color going along those edges. Just gives the background a little more color. So it's going to just finish off like that. Michelle, I have the colors I used listed down below in the video description, but I did film my nails as I was doing them, so I'm hoping that I can get a video on them up later this week. Add that around. There we go. Now I've got color around all those edges. All right, and I think I'm going to call it. I think those are going to be done. Not bad. 2 cards in an hour. Done. Love that. Got a little messy over here, but not too bad. You really have to kind of like tip this in the light to get the gold greening there. But ta-da! Yeah, here's the close-up of the nails again. Just freehand painted flowers. You can tell this is my dominant hand because the flowers aren't as nice. But yeah, I'll try to get that up later this week. All right. So I'm going to do a little spiel for those watching the edited replay, which I'll probably get up tomorrow morning. And then I'll come back, and if you guys have any questions, that is when I will answer them. Okay, so here we go. So here are the 2 finished cards, both done in under an hour. They worked up really quick, actually. And even though I have a couple little boo-boos here and there, I think that they still look really great no matter what. And yeah, there we are. So just a reminder that mail call is coming up on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. So please come back and join me, and then we will resume Color Month on Friday. So thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Okay, let's just put these on camera with me. We'll split screen it. If you have any questions, now is the time. So here we are. I felt awkward being on camera, so we're just going to do this so that I can lean back and relax a little bit. If you had a question earlier that I totally missed, now's the time to repeat it. La la la. Let's see. I'm scrolling up to see if I can catch any. Sandra says, I love the assortment of heart patterns and colors. Me too. They're so cute. Such a fun stamp set. Oh yeah, let's look at the color combo again. So here is that color combo. I think it worked really well. And you can see all of the colors in the finished cards. I think it was great. So there we are. That's the color combo. And what a pretty photo for it too. Andrea, at least the inky fingers coordinate with your nails, LOL. Looks like the green font on names are members. I am as well. Testing. I think it's just the little kind of little star that's by your name that signifies that you are a member of my premium channels. So if they're green, if it's Andrea, Amanda Panda, or Dana, those are my moderators, if that's what you're wondering about. I think they show up as green in the chat. Oh, good. You got your envelope. I'm so glad it came safely. Would gold gems or a gold line around the edges pull the gold out? I think so too. Yeah, I mentioned I was thinking about maybe doing a little bit of gold embossing around the edges. Decided in the end not to, but you definitely could. In fact, I think if I was going to do this again, I like the idea of having like a gold outline on the hearts. So if I wasn't live, I think I'd let these just dry overnight or something. So there's no, it's not a big hassle. And then I'd stamp the outline hearts over each one so that each heart would have a gold outline. I think that could be really pretty. Do you prefer the cube or the book? Ooh, for different reasons. I like both. For just picking a random color combo, the cubes are much easier. However, I did notice that she kind of has, like, as I was flipping through them today, I noticed that there'll be like a lot of holiday color combos kind of like in a row. And I know, or there'll be like a bunch of flowers in a row or a lot of cooking things in a row. So if you're looking for like different color combos for something specific, having the PDF, which, in turn then I printed as a book, is helpful because it has all of those kind of like themed keywords, and you can do keyword searches within the PDF. So in that case, I like both for different reasons. The stamp set I use, the greeting is bold messages too. And then the hearts are Pretty Pink Posh decorative hearts. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. Decorative hearts. And it's most definitely a Valentine's Day stamp set, but I wanted to just use the hearts just as regular hearts. Andrea says, do the color cube card numbers correspond to the color palettes in the PDF books? Yes, I believe so. Let's double check. So the color combo I used today was from Volume 1. So I will grab my Volume 1 book. Let's double check. So it is number 208. So let's flip to the back. 208. Yep, there we are. 208. Those colors look really good. Like the printed versus the card. Those look really similar. So you can definitely use them all interchangeably. So let's say you were using the PDF on your computer and you look it up by keyword, and then you're like, okay, that looks great, but I want to have like a card like sitting out in my workstation that I can refer to. Then you can grab the card from the color cube and kind of have it on hand. I think that's great. Flipping through the book is also really great for picking out a color palette too, I'd say, because it's a little easier to flip through and see everything all at once, and everything stays in order. Like right through here, like I noticed in the back, like there were a lot of food images like right through here. So like a lot of this is food. So I think she has them like grouped by the top keyword. So if you're doing like a card with like a little chef on it or someone making cookies or something, you might want to go to the food category. I think it's just really fun. And I believe in the very front, where is it? Maybe I didn't do the searchable pages, but I thought I had. Maybe they're in the back. I don't know. Nope. Anyway, so ta-da. Okay, so I mean, I didn't know this. I hadn't looked far enough in, but apparently she's had this since 2018. Kind of cool. All right. So that is the book. The colors are the same. Okay. Are there any upcoming classes for OCC? Yes, there is one. We are actively in the process of filming lessons for it. So stay tuned in the next week or so. We're hoping to announce that class. I'm not going to give you any more details about it other than it is scheduled for the end of March. So it's and it's a traditional class. It's not live. It's a traditional class. Okay. Let's see here. Question, how much do you love the acrylic paint from Altoonu? Can they be used as alcohol pen, meaning like blending? Michelle is referring to these markers. Those of you who are in my Supporter and Supporter Plus premium memberships, actually only those in Supporter Plus have seen these because I've used them on mail art that's exclusive to those members. I love them. I love them so much. Oh, hello. It really doesn't want to focus on those. Can they be used like an alcohol pen? I don't think so. I think while they're wet, you might be able to get a little bit of blending between the two, but I don't think you can actually like blend them like an alcohol marker. No, I don't think that's the case. Let's see here. Katie's asking, do you know of any stamp sets that have paint tubes and other craft paint supplies? Yes. There is a stamp set from, who is it from? Inkblot? I think it's Inkblot that has a stamp set that has a bunch of art supplies. Pretty sure it's Inkblot that has it. Gosh. I think Simus's Stamp had a stamp set that was like that a while back. I have a feeling it's probably discontinued, but Inkblot might still have hers. Oh, moderators are blue, names, membership is green. Oh, good to know. Good to know. How do you feel about crafters duplicating your cards? I say bring it on. Go for it. You're welcome to it. The only thing that I ask is if you are like, this isn't as common, but back in the day, there'd be like contests by companies where you'd like upload a card and you could possibly win like a gift card or something like that. For those, if you're going to enter into a contest, like I just ask that you make the card your own, change up a few things. Don't make it a direct copy of mine just because, you know, contests like that, you want to win them on your own merit. Also, if you're submitting cards to magazines, just make sure that they're your own design. But other than that, like, feel free. Copy all you'd like. Pam says, is there a place that lists the schedule for your lives? I want to put them on my calendar so I don't miss them as much. It's every Monday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, unless otherwise noted. But for upcoming month or so, they will all be Monday nights at the same time. The exception to that is I do live mail calls, and those will change depending on my schedule, but usually it's within the first week of the month, and I'll give you guys a heads up in the regular weekly Monday Night Live. I'll give you a heads up when that one is going to be. So for example, the next mail call live stream is coming up on Wednesday, 2 days from now, and that one will be at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, so 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. Do the Simon Says stamps not blend too much? Was worried there would be more purple when you were blending the purple from the back sheet we got onto the card. Actually, that's the reason why I had that paper down behind it, because the paper will absorb the ink. If I would have done it on my glass mat, that ink would have just sat on top of the glass and then it would have blended in. So in particular, that's why I like to have the paper behind my project when I'm ink blending from the edge. When I'm bringing it in from the edge, I like to have paper down because that keeps the back of my card nice and clean, and it also prevents that ink from like spreading and blending when I move to a different color. Alrighty. Where did I get the book printed and bound? I did it at I think it's like printme1.com or whatever, which it was $80 at the time per book, so not for the faint of heart, or faint of heart. And then someone in the comments had gone there, because it's been a year since I did that. They went to that website and priced it, and it was over $100 now. So if you have somewhere locally, like a UPS store or a Kinko's or Office Max or Office Depot or Staples, or somewhere where they can do the printing and binding locally, you might get a better price. So I would price that out and kind of see what's best. But I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why Sarah Renae Clark doesn't offer a printed version, because it is so cost prohibitive. And also because the PDF that you download has all those search features. So I think that's why she doesn't offer them printed. What did you print the PDF on? The pages look glossy. Did you take it somewhere? I had it printed at that online site, the print shop. I just selected whatever paper they had. I just wanted like full color, double-sided. I don't know that I selected anything beyond that. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see here. Where can I buy the color cued cards from? Go to the link down below in my video description. It says something like, see all of the Sarah Renae Clark color catalog here, and there's one link. It's the very first link down in the video description. It will take you to her website, and you can buy Color Cube Volume 1, Volume 2, or the set together and save a little bit of money. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Okay. Andrea says, I compared Office Depot to printme1.com. Office Depot was over $200 for both books for comparable paper. Okay, wait, so that means each book was $100, or does that mean like one book was $200 and the other book was $200? So like $400. You're saying printme1.com was cheaper, in other words. Okay, well, that's good to know. Staples quoted you $191 to have it bound on cardstock and spatter bound. Yeah, there's a lot of pages. It's just, I mean, but if it's a resource you're going to use over and over again and you want it printed out, it might be worth it. But you know what, I mean, I wonder if you could go to like a thinner paper somewhere just to try to have a little savings. You know what is another option? And I didn't even think about this till just now, but these are really, really big on each sheet. They're really, really big. You could take it into a print shop and ask them, could they put like 2 on a page? So it would actually be like sized like this, then folded in half. And that would cut down the amount of paper by half. You'd have a little bit of a smaller reference, but I mean, these are really, really big on each sheet. And I don't think you need them quite that large. It would basically be, you know, a little less than 50% because you got to get the dimensions right. But you could have it printed so you've got like 2 on each page. Does that make sense? You could ask them about doing that, and it might get it a little bit smaller. In fact, that would be a really great suggestion to Sarah Renae Clark. Maybe I'll email her and be like, you know what? Would it be possible to offer the printable version where you've got 2 color palettes per page? That might cut it down a little bit. yeah, it's an option. Oh, we're not zooming out, we're zooming in. Okay. All right, any other questions, or I'm gonna close up for the night. Andrea says, I'm not sure if the pages can be resized since they're PDF files, but good question. You know what? I bet you could. I'm almost positive you can. There might be a setting in Adobe Acrobat that will let you do that. I'm really curious now. I'm going to have to test it and see if there is. Because if there is an option to do that, I might have to figure out how to do that. Okay. Oh yeah, 3-hole punch to put in a binder versus spiral. Well, the spiral binding is not the expensive part. Like that's easy and that's pretty much the same price or very close price no matter the size of your book. I think it's the printing and how many pages that are the issue. This is a good point. Barb says for $200 you could buy a color laser printer and print it yourself. That is a very good point. That's a very good point. Rosie says, I missed it earlier. Were you going to create? Yes, I will be at Create. If you have Photoshop, you can edit them. That's true. She might have the PDF locked down. You might not be able to access the files and manipulate them that way. But even so, there's 250 in each one. There's 500 you'd have to open and kind of set that up. So I don't know. Let's see. All right. Well, thanks for joining me tonight. Once again, this is the color combo that I worked with. So fun. Orchid, ultraviolet, dark blue, mint, and seafoam. Good color combo. And yeah. Elizabeth's asking, could you bind the color box cards? I don't see why not. They're so cute as a cube, though. I don't know why you'd want them bound. I mean, I guess you could. I kind of like having them as the cube, though. But anyway, all right. I will see you all on Wednesday for a live mail call. Once again, that's 2 p.m. Mountain Time in the afternoon. I hope I see you all there. Thanks for watching.